Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends, and welcome. Bienvenue to JCB Live. This is the end of June. Therefore, for such an occasion as summer is coming, we thought that there was two magnificent, beautiful, charming, well-educated, charismatic, and much more ladies that are joining me today. I feel so fortunate. I'm having goosebumps of excitement because they are the ladies you want to be, entrepreneur and going forward into the world of food, hospitality at large. They created a business together and they met in great circumstances. I've had the pleasure to be with them at many occasions, and I thought it would be so fun for all of us to share their stories and to learn more about Maryam and Jenae. So ladies, welcome to the world of JCB, and we cannot wait for you to arrive. They only come when the bubble pops. That's their mantra. Woo! That was a big one. Ladies, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonsoir. So I'm going to do the French way.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the outfits.
We knew. We had to come and play for sure.
So how did we know we were going to be animalistic today? We were going to be the menagerie together.
We came for the bold, patterned party that we knew you might throw for us.
Oh, I love it. Today is a party. So lady, first of all,
Cheers.
happy summer, right? Because we are entering one of the most beautiful time in Napa Valley. Mm-hmm. And I want to really as well have a toast to your success and to two of you as young ladies really creating your business. So as we toast, we need to look at each other in the eyes. It's a three-way toast. And I love that because no better moment to be together and to share. So ladies, how did it start, this amazing journey together?
It's been a short time, but feels like a long time. I think that happens with friends. Mm-hmm. Jenae and I met at the Culinary Institute of America when we were working at Copia together. And both of us very passionate about events and also getting a really special experience together and people together. And she's really, really good at it. So when I launched Maryam and Company, I gave her a call and said, do you want to come do this with me?
That's amazing. So ladies, you become friends, but why creating a business? This is not easy.
No, it's not. Because for me, I knew that I wanted to create a lot of impact. And I thought I had learned how to do that. Having been in this valley, having worked with a lot of people in philanthropy and committed to sustainability and diversity. And I just wanted to do that on a bigger scale for myself. And I didn't want to do it alone.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I knew someone who might want to. Yeah.
Ladies entrepreneur, there's nothing better. Ladies, so we understand you've met quite some time ago, right? And so how difficult is it to work with your close friend?
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
We do have to be mindful of outfit coordination.
Yes, you did well today. I think everybody agrees. Make sure you put hearts in the chat.
And I think we are lucky because we know each other well enough to say, today might not be the day for that. Later.
Have you always combed your hair on the same side?
No, I know. That was unplanned.
We're very coordinated.
It's starting to be like the same.
So what made it for both of you to want to be in that field? Because the field we're in is not that easy.
No.
It's a very, besides competitive, it's not necessarily easy to create those magical moments and experiences and all that. So
yeah. I have wanted to be in hospitality my whole life, but my parents are doctors, so they were very confused. Yes. And just said, okay, if you can show us that it can work, that's fine. And I started working when I was a teenager and worked in all facets of catering and wine sales and concierge and all of the stuff either you will do again or you'll never do again.
That's great.
And that's how I honed in on what I loved about hospitality.
The same experience for you?
Yeah, so I always loved bringing people together. I loved having community. My path was a little bit different. I initially thought I wanted to work in professional sports, so started off there, but quickly realized that the schedules were just crazy. You know, I worked in baseball, so the seasons are very long. But when I moved out to California, I wanted to really experience the hospitality world here. So found my position at the CIA, and it was just like a match made in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe, ladies, as you taste this wine, because you're experts in wine, so you should tell us what bubbles make you feel, or how they make you feel. Describe for us.
I love bubbles. I think they're great for any occasion, no matter what you're doing, and I think that's why it's always just like, you're having pizza, let's have bubbles. Let's, having Chinese food, let's have bubbles. So.
What about breakfast? Do you have bubbles?
Breakfast.
For
I was saying
mimosas.
you're missing breakfast.
Yeah,
Oh,
mimosas, 100%.
I love that. And how do you feel about JCB 21?
I love it. It's delicious. I actually don't know that I need any food, but I would happily have food with it. I'm happy just drinking it on its own as well.
Very
It's
cool.
delicious. Thank you for sharing.
Well, it's a pleasure. So, ladies, before we dive into your phenomenal business creation and all what you're doing, tell us about the CIA and how it made you who you are today, because it's the Culinary Institute of America, and many friends are from all over the world. They don't necessarily know it, but tell us a little bit about it and how it helped you to be who you are today.
Absolutely. The CIA is a not-for-profit college, culinary college, mainly based in New York, California, and San Antonio, Texas. And they have international locations as well. It is one of the best culinary institutions in the world. The premier culinary college is their tagline. And for me, I had always wanted to be in higher ed in a way. I love being with students. I like teaching. So being a part of that was important to me. And I got really lucky, I think, in a way. I had just finished a winemaking degree in Walla Walla, Washington.
Big deal.
Of all places. And I love the winemaking side, but I did it because I wanted to be able to educate more, with that sound background.
For sure.
And it was just happy timing that a position with the CIA came open just after the acquisition of the Copia building in downtown Napa. And that building was mainly to serve the purpose of bringing in consumers as well as industry to expand the CIA umbrella.
That's amazing.
So I had this challenge right away of we've got to create from what already exists and create what doesn't in a short amount of time to open a very large building in downtown Napa with a storied history and make it come alive again. And I remember being in hotel school at Cornell and reading about the property and thinking, what an amazing thing, an American Center for Wine, Food, and the Arts. I want to go. I wasn't even 21 yet when I read about the project.
Amazing.
And I couldn't believe the day we opened at Copia that I was there to reopen it as the CIA. It was really special. And what I learned was how to be a leader, much more so than I had in the past. I had a team of about 30 people.
Wow.
It was big.
Big
It got
team.
big. It wasn't always that big. When I started, there were 3 of us.
As a young graduate, it's amazing that you handed off so much responsibility quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. But I was up for the challenge. I think at the end of the day, for me, I thrived because it was a creative space and I was allowed to kind of push the envelope a little bit. It was a very entrepreneurial role because I just got to create things that didn't exist before.
Well, and you had to prove your parents who are 2 doctors.
That's right.
That the
I've always got
hospital
something to
were-
prove.
Well, we have always something to prove to our parents or grandparents or even children for that matter, right? Tell us about your vision.
Yeah, so I really ended up being at the CIA just by chance. I was working with a small nonprofit called Girls on the Run in the Valley, and I knew I could push myself more. So I was like, looking on, on Indeed one day, and I'm like, oh, the Culinary Institute of America. That sounds a little fancy. I like coming from the Midwest, like we just don't have that kind of caliber. So I had applied and was interviewed and was hired about 2 weeks later. So it was just like this situation that was meant to happen. And I absolutely loved my time there. My role changed a lot during my 3 years, and I ended up being under Maryam's team at that point. But I got to create programs, everything from a 10-person wine tasting event to like a 1,000-person big multi-day large-scale event. So I really got to play around a lot.
Well, how do you feel, and I want to really enhance this, two young ladies, not necessarily families in the hospitality world, suddenly handed off huge responsibility and being so successful. What does it say to all of us in life? What's the big lesson of that? Right?
Yeah, it's possible, it says, but I would back that up with, it sounds really nice and exciting, but as a director, my job at the end of the day was still to deliver results, and
Yes.
I didn't let that ever out of sight. And I think that's why I kept getting more and more responsibility. It was less so about, this sounds great and it's really beautiful. At times that was really important, but we still had a business to run. And thank God, because now I run my own business. And
That's right.
Yeah.
she was responsible for very similar activities, running a department of her own. And so that's how we are
I love
here
that.
now.
Believing in youth and entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
So ladies, we're going to have now a very unique rosé of Pinot Noir from the Russian River. Dear friends, I know you're all jealous because this is one of Brian Maloney's latest release, 2020. This is a spectacular wine. Can you smell the rose petals? I know we were in the garden a moment ago. The roses are beautiful, but still, wow. What do you think?
I love that it's floral. It's also stone fruit season right now, and there's like really, really nice, ripe stone fruit.
The acidity in it is really nice for this time of year too.
Yeah.
It's hot this week.
Yeah.
Well, it's even hotter now that I'm surrounded by spectacular ladies. So ladies, what is hot is your company. So talking about heat, you are the intersection of chef, sommelier, hospitality, sustainability, all the right things that we as Boissé Collection love, as you know. So tell us the idea of your business and how you got started and the vision of it.
Thank you. Well, that intersection came from a lot of our work at the CIA, but I think, diversity and sustainability come across as buzzwords a lot of the time because you have to have an action plan to back it up. So we have been committed to that. I've been committed to it for a very long time and was ingrained in the work we were doing before too. But Maryam and Company focuses on working with mission-driven businesses, specifically SOMs, chefs, sustainability experts. We work with a lot of advocates and talent out there and a lot of media to help implement big ideas for those businesses or individuals, as well as curate experiences that help tell that story.
That's very cool. But it's very diverse world.
It is,
so
yeah.
people can come up with any ideas to you. It's very wide.
It is, but it's always grounded because it's really centered around a similar mission. And we're very particular about that, actually, because I didn't start a business without the intention to create more and more impact as I can. And if that means encouraging people to find a way to work on these initiatives, then that's great. But yeah, you're right. It does run the gamut. We do a lot of different things. The most favorite of all, though, is when we've got a component from each part of the intersection.
So I want you a little later to describe for us that dream experience that you're talking about.
Okay.
But before we go there, let us know why impact, why purpose, why is it important to you as young ladies, entrepreneur, and why should it be important to the rest of the world?
Because For me, anyway, and I want you to speak to it too, because you said yes. So.
And we all say
yes. We all say yes. That's true. That's true.
we are so with you. In fact, this wine is organic and biodynamic, made in a winery with a solar panel system, uses water recycling programs. I mean, it's kind of a green winery, so to speak. So that's why we so much with you.
Yeah.
And you will have a long-lasting legacy because of those decisions. And I think that that's what I'm aiming for. I think if I'm lucky enough to have had impact on change that affects people coming up that are going to come up in a very different world, things already look different for a lot of us, then I will be very happy. But specifically, I just think, what is the purpose without purpose?
That's right.
I don't have a better answer.
Very well said.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think one thing that, like, working with Maryam, like, she's such a visionary. She's, or, like, I always like to say she's, like, the big idea person, and I'm, like, the one that's, like, in the spreadsheets, like, going cell by cell. But it's been really amazing to work with her and, like, the transition from the CIA to Maryam and Company and seeing, like, these impacts that we're really making in the community, and like being able to see that firsthand is really special.
So what are the ones you're the most proud of, ladies? Just to share with everyone, because we really believe that the future of the world ahead of us is to have great companies like you, accompany entrepreneurs as well, wineries and hotels and any businesses into this journey that is essential. Simply respect of why we're born and the purpose of why we're here. You know, the French love it because we have a word for it, the raison d'être.
Yes.
The reason to be.
Yeah. I think for every one project we do that people can see, there are more behind it that you never see.
Yes.
But that's what makes us effective, because we're doing a lot of really important work that we don't step into the spotlight for, specifically to maintain our integrity and our genuine, like, affability with people, because that's how we do the work we do, is through connection. So I mean, some of the ones I'm most proud of, people don't even know we've done. But one of the projects for me, and I think like you can speak to For the Culture, because that was great, but I helped source a community of professionals to support a launch of a web-based platform that helps connect consumers to wine. And it is an important platform with a media component. And traditionally, we've overlooked a lot of not only writers and content creators, but also audiences through the way we've put content out there. And so to be able to build a professional community to support that launch and then boost that professional community at the same time, I'm doing for my industry at the same time as providing for the consumer. And that was really special to me.
What about for
you?
you?
So for me, it was, I think for both of us too, it was like a combined love. It was actually our first large scale client that we had. And it actually wasn't technically in the hospitality world, which I thought was really interesting. But it was a beloved event based in Oakland, where they brought in women of color, and they sold their products. And so with the transition of COVID, they had to bring it all online. So we were able to help facilitate that and to really create an experience for all of the shoppers, as well as a great experience for the vendors as well. And it was really special, and we got to really be a part of a team with that.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to hear the train passing by because, you know, we are dinner time. We're on Highway 29 and the historical train from Mr. Sam Brannan. He's just returning from Calistoga. We can always be imagining we're in 1868.
Yeah.
By the way, ladies, if you would not have been born in the 21st century, hopefully you were born a little bit on the crisp of the 20th. You know, I'm the older one here. Which period of time would you have liked to live?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Well, as you can tell in my leopard dress, I'm a big like style person. So I love the 60s and 70s style. So I would 100%. And like all the live music and like experiences that they had during that time frame was amazing.
I love it. And who would you have liked to be?
Ooh.
In the 60s.
Ooh, that's a good. Well, I love Elton John, so he.
Yeah, you could be a man.
Yeah, I mean,
Who
I
is
think.
to say that
Yeah.
we did not have a previous life?
That
as
is very
an
true.
insect or an animal or God.
100%. Yeah, Elton John is like my one true love, so definitely him.
I love that so much.
That's very cool. I love it. I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of him as well.
Yeah.
What a
I saw him in concert 2 years ago before COVID hit, and it was life-changing for sure.
She
It
didn't
is
ever
like-
stop talking about
Yeah.
Now you have
We
a
played
big
a
one.
lot of Elton John
We
that
did.
week.
Yeah, for sure. Getting ready.
So what about for you?
I think so many, but I'm also can I tell them?
Yes, you can.
I did find this dress. So
Oh.
I am a big vintage shopper. I love going through the decades.
For sure.
I love the 20s, but I don't know that I would have necessarily wanted to live through that period of time. I would be very happy 50s, 60s, similar style. I love a lot of the classic movies that came out around then. I have to be honest, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend is one of my favorite little musical numbers. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, but I like that movie. I'm a brunette, obviously. Very
Well, it's
naturally
easy
a
to be a
brunette.
blonde these days. You can see that.
But I like the underlying story actually of that film, which is that they don't always prefer blondes, sometimes brunettes. And I love Jane Russell. And I love the fashion choices of that film specifically. So
So
I
that
mean,
would
if
be
any one of those outfits, yeah, it would be. Wouldn't it be fun?
Oh.
And she lived for a long time beyond
That's right.
some other folks.
Well, you're wearing a jade on your beautiful
Yes,
red
it's my
hands.
grandmother's.
You want to show it to everybody.
Sure.
Look at this gorgeous jade on top of the, gold leaves of our table that we've made.
Yes.
And that's and besides the fact of your grandmother, there's a big power in jade. So I don't need to tell you. Is it your birth sign?
It isn't. No, I'm aquamarine.
Ah,
Which
gorgeous.
is some shades. I love the really, really like Arctic aquamarine. That's just you have to look at the right time. You have to catch it in the right light.
That's it.
Yeah, but I do love jade for that reason. Sort of an assertion, definitely.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
So, ladies, describe us the dream event that you wish would have as far as your business, because we're going to move into some of the other activities you do, which are great activities beyond that. What would that be? Describe it to us, that dream, most phenomenal event that you would want to craft, be part of, and that event that would give the biggest amount of impact to the world in general.
Are you going to be a part of it?
Why not? I'm ready, as you could say. Let me ask Louis the 14. Is he saying yes? If he's moving, he says yes.
Oh, thank you, Louis. Well, it's a really good question, and it's actually timely because we're halfway through the year, so next year is on our minds. Maryam and Company has spent a lot of time this year supporting the missions of other organizations, which is very important to us.
And tell us which one, too, in addition, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Because you've been so active.
So many, yes. I mean, a few to list off. I'm the program advisor for the Wine Writers Symposium. I joined the Napa Green Certificate Working Group. That was really special, focused on social equity for that development. As Jenae mentioned, we worked for the Culture Market and have done several other projects as well. More to come, lots. We're working really hard right now. But it's so special to support those organizations. We've been behind mission-driven organizations for a long time. I think it's important for Maryam and Company to come out in front.
Yes.
And so the event that you asked about, I hope, would be curated and put on by us. And all the work we're doing for diversity, the idea is we no longer need diversity initiatives. In many years to come, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but I wouldn't need to curate an event with diversity outwardly as a proponent. It would be intrinsically part of it, but I'd love to create an experience that shows so many more dimensions of experience when it comes to wine. And so picture basically like what Rihanna did for fashion,
That's right.
but what we could do for wine in a very similar way.
I love it. And you know, you have a lot of our friends with us tonight and who will be watching at their leisure who are amazing diversity supporters. We have all our ambassadors that we adore and all our distributors, importers around the world. We promote wine in 5 continents and in every country you can think of who is willing to enjoy fine wines. And we are, you know, we agree with you that the table is round, therefore ideas circulate and everybody's welcome at the table, irrelevant of your religion, skin color, and even political beliefs. Who cares? We agree to disagree, and it's great to disagree. So by disagreeing, we progress.
Yep.
And by being different,
Yep.
we are better.
Definitely.
No, I'm with you. So watch out, dear friend. You may get an invitation from Dylan soon, coming through the web. So what about for you if it was to be a little different?
You know, to tell you the truth, I think Maryam and I are very much on the same page with that. Like we have always been behind and supporting organizations, and I think it's our turn to step forward.
Oops, sorry, yes.
It's our turn to step forward and really create something of our own that we can put our stamp on, which I think is definitely possible coming in 2022. So.
And what would be for that event?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to finish your rosé. I know you can. I've seen you finishing your wine glass before.
You got this.
You see, they are all with us and they want to behave. They want to pretend.
I'm just saving room for more number 21.
Absolutely. So, you understand my question here is what would be the big, powerful takeaway that you would want people to say, I want to be part of this event series, that circle of events.
Sure.
You know, there's one coming to mind which was totally different objectives, but it was every Tuesday in the United States, French Tuesdays, gathering thousands of people with a mission to have a great time, to connect, to match, to drink great wines, and to be together. And it was a huge, and I purposely use this one as an example because it's totally unrelated to some of the purposes that you have in mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think like connectivity isn't linear. And I think we often only go point A to point B.
Yes.
And we do that a lot with wine. We do that a lot with food and wine pairing. We do that a lot with hosting people at a winery. You don't do that a lot.
No, never. I've never hosted yet.
No.
I'm working on it. Welcome, ladies. Oh, I just broke a glass.
It's now a party.
You see the energy. Water was not welcome at the table. Hey, there's 85% water in this glass of wine. You know, you're drinking water anyhow. But yes, hosting.
Yeah, I just think that if we're going to create an event like that, and to the impact question that you had, it's what are we walking away thinking, oh, I never thought of that before. I never considered that before. But also, whoa, that was really cool. Or I would have never considered that idea before. But we do it incorporating a lot of the things. I mean, Jenae said, oh, we did an event with retail, which isn't really the wine industry. But how does wine interact with retail and fashion? I mean, honestly, you're someone who could really answer those questions.
Well, let's do it together.
So,
I think we meant to do it. So, ladies, I'm going to have a toast without breaking a glass. You see the energy of crystal. Now, you are, dear friends, in presence of 2 young, phenomenal leaders, entrepreneurs. You're part of the Leaders Summit as well, Council. Tell us about your role there and what it's all about.
Yeah, in August of 2020, I co-founded the Diversity in Wine Leadership Forum with Elaine Chucom-Brown. And the purpose of that forum was to be able to bring together leaders of organizations focused on diversity and equity in the wine world. The reason why the forum came to be was because, of course, in the summer of 2020, more organizations, initiatives, and funds became available to target issues around diversity and equity in our industry specifically, and of course, honestly, nationally and globally. And while I was absolutely in support of everyone creating whatever they could to support their communities and the beverage industry, let's say, I also recognized after doing a lot of not-for-profit work, how much energy that takes, and that there might be a lot of maybe duplicated work.
That's right.
Or potentially things like problems being solved over here that someone else is still trying to solve over there. And I thought, I'm not sure what my role is yet in all of this, but I know that I can get everyone on the phone. Not everyone, but as many folks as possible on the phone.
Yes.
And say, are you willing to come to the table with everyone else and talk about how we might all work together to affect change more quickly than we might be able to alone?
That's pretty exceptional. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I seen how much has come from the development of the forum. It's been really incredible. I've been able to sit in on a lot of educational seminars, and it's just like to have so many leaders in the community come together to have this kind of education. It's really special, and very proud to like be a part of that for sure.
Well,
you know?
and you've done it for wine, but you've done it for culinary how? Culinary curious how?
Yeah.
Would you please tell us about this? It's not easy as a Frenchman to say the 3 C's. Culinary curious how?
Yeah. Well, I also want to add too that I have also been a part of the Hugh Society as well. Which is I'm a founding member of the California. Thank you.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And so it's a really special opportunity to bring education to everyone, right? For wine education and making it really special to have everyone at the table and bringing everyone together. Yeah.
That's impressive. Is there something those ladies don't do? What about some TV? I hear you're on a famous cast.
I get to see your beautiful vineyard next week.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait.
Well, aren't we there?
I know we are there. I was going to say, we're already
So,
there.
in order to prepare, as you're
Thank
going to be
you.
there with some TV, dear friends, famous Jason and the beautiful...
Christina, who?
Yes,
who?
of course.
Yeah. Well, the
And
whole
Vanessa.
team
And Vanessa when we did the JCB
Oh
Live.
yes, that's
You know.
right. Oh, man, she's great too. I'm filming with Sam TV for a show called Sparklers, so I think you should be in the next season. If it's up to
I'm
me, I
open
don't
to
know.
it anytime. I'll have you talk to my agent.
We're filming the last couple of episodes next week,
Great.
and hopefully it'll come out a little later this summer. And the whole premise of the show, it's the first of its kind on Sam TV because it's a food and wine cooking competition show.
Very fun.
So no one's a professional chef, but everyone is very well versed in food and, of course, delicious wine. There are 5 of us as cast members, and I am one of them.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be
It's
really
gonna be
fun.
exciting
They
to
just
see.
make such beautiful shows and content on Sam TV. I'm just excited to be a part of it. But
So, ladies, a few more questions
Okay.
only because, unfortunately, dinner. I know you have big engagements. I know our friends are obviously as well in many parts of this world planning to do things. What inspires 2 young, talented ladies like you? Deep questions! We should all answer this summer at the beach, at the lake, in the mountains.
I was going to say
Laying
the
in the
beach.
I mean, I think for me, especially going through everything that's happened this past year and a half, I think we have both really realized like what matters to us at the end of the day, like what our impact we want to have in the community. And I think that's something that's really what we've been able to bring through with Maryam and Company. And we've been able to make those decisions for ourselves of like, okay, this is something that really matters to us and we need to be a part of this.
So inspiration from inspiration.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
But I also like long walks and stopping and actually smelling flowers. And I have to take a lot of creative time.
Yes.
If I go too long without
So
alone,
nature inspires you.
big nature
creating.
for sure.
Are you
But
a writer
also-
as well?
Yeah, I do write a lot. We were talking about this recently. I said,
Yeah.
I haven't sat to write in too long. But like also colors and patterns and textures, I like to do a lot of looking around, that kind of thing. Museums or just street walking, that kind of thing for inspiration.
Well, now, what 2 young, beautiful ladies have for passion?
Passion.
Let's talk passion
Good
for
question.
a while.
Well, vintage shopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly, you
These
need to
are
give us
pieces
some.
secured by
But isn't it
Maryam.
the cool way to do it? Because fashion is a constant reinvention of the last 30 or 40
Yeah.
years anyhow. So
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Passion. I mean, nature's a big, I know Maryam just mentioned that, but coming originally from Michigan, California, like the national parks out here are a big passion of mine. Being able to disconnect, I think that's something that I've found, especially in the past couple of years, like disconnecting is really important.
Yes.
And just kind of being off the grid is something that I've really found a lot of passion and love in and taking that time.
She answers my text messages.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
Maryam,
Now we
no
know
matter
where
what.
So, ladies, what are your dreams? Ooh, a good topic as we animalistic.
I think my dream is to, well, first of all, if I'm being totally honest, my dream.
Well, we hope so.
I'm being
But
totally
you don't
honest.
have to do.
I would really love to create a legacy that means that I can only focus on philanthropic work by the time I'm, I don't know, let's say 50. Let's say
Luckily,
maybe
she has
45.
another 30 years to go. 28.
But also, I would really like to write more publicly. That would be a good dream. And I want to continue the dream we're already building. Like, I really want to show people things that challenge their perspective and share stories. Create something that many people see.
So exciting. Great dreams. Yes.
Well, personal dream is like to live in New Zealand someday. That's the goal. So go international with Maryam and Company.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It may be the safest place on earth.
Yeah. But other than that, I find so much like love and passion from just helping people realize that it is possible, like what these big ideas that they're having, like there are ways to get there. And I think that's something that Maryam and I really love to do, is being like these big ideas, and people are like, but we don't know how to get to like the actual part. We're like, but that's what we're for. Like we can get you there. So I definitely want to continue to do that too.
I love it. So, ladies, I want you to show your talent. Because not only they know food, they know art, they know fashion, they know hospitality, they know special purpose causes, so many things, right? I would like you each independently to describe this wine from St. Lucia, because you're wine experts. I want people to know when they call you, you know your wine as well, not just what we've all talked about. So give us the essential, the romantic, the powerful, the educational, the healthy discussion.
Okay. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Moment of silence.
Oh, I'm just crafting.
Ooh. She's closing her eyes as she
I
inhales the liquid and gift of God.
This wine. Can I take liberties?
I'm
with you, so I can, right?
You are with me. You can do anything you want. If you want to give me a hug, you can do that too. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You see, friends, how I bestowed a hug this way?
This wine is a first date. This wine is the bouquet on arrival.
Ooh,
I'd
better get more.
Get more. Come with me.
Yes, I'm coming with you on the bouquet.
It is the laughter on the way. They drove. You're in the passenger seat. And it's opening up, and you're feeling more and more excited the closer you get to where you're going.
God, I want to go there.
Right? We're on our way.
I'd rather be the passenger.
It's evening, but it's not quite dark. And you sit at the table, and the restaurant knows you, but your date didn't know that. And they brought you a special taste right before the date starts. You have it.
You're getting Dylan all excited. Jen is hoping that's going to happen this weekend.
And it starts and ends your evening.
I want to... That's all we need to have. And dear friends, if you had a doubt up to now about storytelling, this is a great talent. I'm going in the car. I'm going to go to the restaurant. I don't know where I'm going.
Well, the car has leather seats.
Ooh.
He brought red flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You're having something you won't feel very tired and laggy about later, so it's bright and the wine brightens it.
Wow. You've described the wine at the same time. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is quite an
I know, I'm like, oh my God. But I will say, I was thinking exactly like an experience I would have while I was drinking this. So I'm going to go back to my Midwest days. But I felt like I want to pour this glass of wine while sun is setting. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting out on a dock, and I'm on a lake, of course, and I'm with my significant other,
who offered her a beautiful ring with a pearl-shaped diamond. I think, Dylan, just for you to know that some ladies are not available. That's a reminder for Dylan, of course. You can see that gorgeous. So I need to commend your husband.
Yeah, he did a very good job. Yep.
Gina, if you're watching, I'm in trouble. Is that right? Yeah. This is an upgrade that Wesley family needs to do. We need to sell more wine.
Yes, glittering. Yeah. No, but it's like you spent the whole day out on the lake. You're tired. You're in like your sweatpants. It's like very casual. And you're just like out there and just like enjoying like the last sun of the day. You're just like soaking it all in and you're enjoying this beautiful glass of wine. It's something that is not super heavy. It's just enjoyable, and you don't need to have food with it either.
I love it. The only thing in the story that doesn't seem to match who you are is I don't see you at the end of the day in a sweat.
Oh, I am 100% there.
So I would imagine
she grew up in Michigan.
I did.
Like,
those long legs need to show to your
I was thinking, but fashionable.
I know, but fashionable sweatpants. They have to match. But I was really just doing this about a week ago. So
why is it called a sweatpant if you're just wearing it to be casual?
That's a good question.
Maybe there's more sweating. Next to a bonfire, you see.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, lady, now comes and I love how you're holding the glass. This is the Passion Collection. She's holding it through the diamond heart of the glass. You both ladies are doing a fabulous job on that. Thank you. Not only you describe the wines amazingly, dear friends, that's a wine you don't see often. Brian Maloney, as you know, is a magician. 6th generation California winemaker. It's Santa Lucia Island. So really a place you never know in the islands that you would enjoy. And it's a great vintage because it's not just a young wine, it's a 2016. So make sure if you want to have those two moments that was so beautifully described. I'm going to buy a case. I want to drive in and go to dinner, and I want to be on the lake. So there's a lot happening in the Boisse family. Gina, be ready. We're going on a trip. So ladies, tell us about a big message you want to send to the world. An encouraging message. You know, we've lived, all of us, 16 months of, I would say, challenges, but some very positive. And what message do you have, not just about the last 16 months, but you as young ladies, entrepreneur, doing as women in the world something great. So send a message to all our friends watching as the last message before you all go to dinner.
I'll go first.
Sure. Well, I think in this like entrepreneurial life we're living, it's like if you have the opportunity to take something on that you have been passionate about, or if it's been a side gig for a very long time, don't be afraid to pursue it. I think that's something that Maryam and I both really found. We kind of took lemons and made lemon juice with everything that's happened the past.
And lemonade.
Lemonade. And really created something that really has just taken off, and it's been really special to really have that leap that we just made. So, yeah.
So basically your whole message is to say, go for it.
Go for it.
Yes.
Do it. Like, do it. Yeah, I mean, what better time, right?
That's right. Well said.
Yep.
Very well said. Thank you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would say I think a lot of people get scared about starting. But my big message isn't necessarily go for it, because she already said that and I agree. My message is I don't think that you can ignore things even when they feel small, but that ring alarms in your head all the time, or maybe often enough that it never fully goes away. And they just get louder and louder. And sometimes they get louder and louder the further you get away from them. And if that's happening, maybe try to steer toward it instead of pulling away from it, because it feels vulnerable for everyone's different, but for me it was 3 or 4 months
Yes.
of real raw vulnerability, and then all of a sudden what I was saying and talking about was absolutely aligned with those clanging bells in my head. So I agree, go for it, but that can mean something different for everybody. I just think don't ignore it, and it's really not so hard to just start small and then just let it get big.
Marian and Jenae, they are doing it, dear friends. It's present progressive. And ladies, you know, my favorite tense in the English language is present progressive. We are doing. There's rhythm in that tense.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. It's not just about the future we may do, or conditional tense is you are doing it. And thank you for those great advice. You're giving me shivers of excitement. I think it's so great, dear friends, to see again 2 friends starting a business together, being so talented, so clever, so sharp, but at the same time be willing to take risk and be willing to be vulnerable even at your age. And I don't mean age in that negative sense. I mean age where you think, okay, you're going to learn somewhere else. And sometimes you learn a lot more when you just do it. Right? So remember this Nike from the Greeks, not only from Nike, the brand that we know, is very important, is to be in action and to do things that you think you can do, and to take risk and to go into that very uncomfortable zone that you have been, and you've done it. So ladies, to your exemplary path, to this big party everybody's going to be invited to, with a vision, with a mission, and with a purpose. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank you.